You're welcome, our dear students in second year of preparatory stage. Today we're gonna talk about the erosion of ozone. As we studied with Miss Rachel last times, she talked about the atmospheric layers, troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, and ionosphere or thermosphere. But today we're gonna talk about erosion of ozone. What's ozone? Ozone is a layer that protected the Earth from harmful radiation of ultraviolet rays that comes from the sun or from cosmic radiation. But where ozone? Ozone lies in what? In the second layer. Second layer, as we studied, it's called what? Stratosphere. This layer contains the ozone from 20 to 40 kilometers above the sea level. From 20 to 40 kilometers above the sea level. But in STP, what's meant by STP? Standard temperature and air pressure. Standard temperature and air pressure on the sea level, its thickness is 1 millimeter, just 1 millimeter. Okay? But Dobson was the scientist who divided this 1 millimeter thickness of ozone into 300 degree. 300 degree. To measure the thickness of ozone. Why? Because ozone gas or ozone layer exposed to erosion, exposed to be thinning, to be less in the last years. So he tried to divide this thickness into 300 units. Each one is called Dobson to measure the ozone hole, to measure the thickness of ozone in fact. So what's Dobson? It is a measuring unit of what? Of ozone thickness. Dobson is a unit to measure the ozone thickness. And we studied before picometer is the measuring unit of the radius of atom. Okay. But this ozone, now we hear a lot of times on TV news that the ozone has hole. What's meant by ozone hole? Okay. Ozone hole means thinning or losing parts of ozone. This is called what? Ozone hole. So now the question is, write the scientific term. It is thinning or losing parts of ozone. It's called ozone hole. Okay, but what are reasons? But first, before reasons for the ozone hole, let's talk about what is the importance of ozone. Ozone delivered the Earth or protected the Earth from the harmful radiation of ultraviolet rays. Ultraviolet rays. How? By using this energy to change from O3 into O2 and O by ultraviolet rays. But at night, again O2 combines with O to be O3. So its used here, or its function, or its importance is protecting the Earth from the harmful radiation of ultraviolet. It uses ultraviolet before reaching the Earth to change from O3 into O2 and O. Then at night they combine together to be ozone again. Okay, but why? This is a question. Give reason for. The ozone layer lies in the stratosphere. Why? Why stratosphere? Why it's not in troposphere? Why it's not in mesosphere or thermosphere? Why especially in stratosphere? Because stratosphere has a lot of oxygen, rich in oxygen. So by ultraviolet rays, O and O, it will be O2. O2 combines with O to be in presence of UV into what? Into O3. Okay. What are types of ultraviolet rays? We have near UV, we have medium UV, and far UV. From 100, its wavelength, nanometer, into 280. From 280 into 315 nanometer. And from 315 into 400. Near ultraviolet, their wavelength ranges between 315 into 400 what? Nanometer. Nanometer here is the measuring unit of wavelength of ultraviolet rays. This near ultraviolet rays absorbed completely in the ozone layer. So the 0% penetrate the ozone, and 100% penetrate, and 0% is absorbed. It's not harmful, but it's very useful for us. Okay, not harmful. So ozone allows 100% of near UV, near ultraviolet rays to penetrate it, and nothing is absorbed. But medium, only 5% penetrate, يخترق the ozone, and 95% of medium ultraviolet rays is absorbed. It is harmful, so it's not allowed to penetrate the ozone layer. Only 5% can penetrate it. But for UV, is very harmful, because it's not allowed to penetrate the earth. 0% penetrates what? The ozone layer. Okay. What happens if far and medium ultraviolet rays penetrate the earth, the ozone layer? What happens? It's very harmful. It has bad effects on the terrestrial plants. It causes shortage of its crops, not reproduction well. It has very harmful effects on the amphibians, spoiled eggs. It has very harmful effects on the whole creation. So we can give thanks for God that created ozone layer to protect us from the harmful radiation of ultraviolet rays. But the question is, how or what are the reasons for ozone hole? We talked about ozone hole. Ozone hole, as I said before, it is thinning or losing parts of ozone layer at the South Pole. Sure, South Pole, above the South Pole. When? In September each year. South Pole of Earth in September. Give reason why in September. Why it's not increasing this ozone hole, not increasing in August, in October, but only in September. Because in September the wind washes away or pushes away pushes away what? Sorry. Pushes away the what? The pollutants of ozone. Towards what? Towards the South Pole each September from the year. So ozone hole increases in September each year. This is the reason and the answer. But what are these pollutants? What are these pollutants? We have some gases as chloro, fluoro, carbon. Chloro, C, fluoro, F, carbon, or CFCl3. Chlorofluorocarbon. This gas is which is used in freon, which is used in cooling. It's very harmful for our health because it causes ozone hole, because it reacts with the ozone and it changes ozone molecule O3 into O2 and O, into oxygen molecule and oxygen atom. So it causes losing of ozone gas from the ozone layer. So it's very dangerous. Number 2 is nitrogen oxides. Nitrogen oxides. Nitrogen oxides, which are used in what? Used or comes from or produced from the ultrasonic planes. What's mean of ultrasonic planes? Ultrasonic planes, they are the planes that its speed is higher than the sonic waves. They produce from their exhaust, they produce nitrogen oxides that has bad effect on what? On ozone. Number 1, chlorofluorocarbon, nitrogen oxide. Number 3, halogens. Halogens, not halogens. Halogens, they are used in what? In fire extinguishing. Extinguishing fires, إطفاء الحرائق. Chlorofluorocarbon, nitrogen oxides, halogens, and carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide gas. Carbon dioxide gas is very bad, very harmful for what? For the ozone layer. So, if we need to keep the ozone layer, we must reduce using freon, using chlorofluorocarbon, and must reduce using carbon dioxide gas. Carbon dioxide gas, as we studied before in primary 5, 6, and 6, we studied that it's produced from burning processes, especially burning of coal. So we have to try to find out another sources of energy that doesn't cause pollution of the environment, because carbon dioxide gas is very harmful for what? For the ozone. And what happens if ozone hole increased? It causes very bad effects on the human and all living organisms, as I explained it before. But now let's talk about global warming. What's meant by global warming? We listen sometimes, or we hear a lot of times about this term, global warming phenomena. What's meant by global warming phenomena? It is continuous increasing of temperature of air near the Earth's surface. It is continuous increasing of temperature of atmospheric air near to the Earth's surface. From some near years before, we feel that Egypt is in fire in summer. In summer, all of us feel it's very hot. We can't bear the high temperature in summer, maybe from 5 or 6 years ago. Climate changes here in Egypt and in the whole world. Why? It's called global warming phenomena, increasing temperature of Earth's surface or the air near to the Earth's surface. But this is very dangerous phenomena. The whole world, the United Nations, tries to reduce this phenomena because it has very bad effects on our Earth. It may cause extinction of some living organisms as polar bear. Polar bear penguins live just in icy places, icy environments. But if the global warming continue for many years and the temperature of Earth's air increases more than this rate, these mountains of ice in the North and South Pole may melt, and then extinction of some living organisms occur. So it's so bad. So I think that the world has to do some efforts to reduce this phenomenon, global warming phenomenon. But why global warming phenomena occurs? What are the reasons for happening, for occurring the global warming, the increasing of temperature? Due to some gases that cause this bad phenomenon. These gases are called greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases, why? Because they cause greenhouse effect. What's meant by greenhouse? Greenhouse, it reminds me with the farmer who wants to plant some plants, but these plants must be planted in winter. But he needs to plant them in summer. So what can he do? He put them in plastic tunnels. These plastic tunnels are called greenhouse. Why? Number one, to avoid losing some water or a lot of water by evaporation. If this water evaporates, they reach to the inner part of this tunnel, the roof of this tunnel, and return back again to the plants to be used. Number two, to absorb heat from the sunlight and not allow heat to escape from these tunnels. This is called greenhouse. At the same way, we have greenhouse effect. What's meant by greenhouse effect? The greenhouse effect means trapping. احتجاز. What? Infrared rays. Infrared rays in troposphere. In troposphere. Again, it is trapping infrared rays in troposphere and not allowing to it to escape from the Earth's surface or from the Earth's air. And notice, my dear students, that ultraviolet rays have chemical effect. Why? Chemical effect because they can change ozone into oxygen and the oxygen into ozone and so on. it has chemical effect, while infrared rays have what has thermal effect. Thermal effect, it means it causes increasing temperature of the air, has thermal effect. So more infrared rays means or equals more temperature. What happened now? Some gases, some types of gases can trap the infrared rays in the Earth's atmospheric air, the air near to Earth's surface. And it doesn't allow, or they don't allow, infrared rays to escape from the Earth. What does it mean? It means more temperature. More infrared means more temperature because they have thermal effect. And this causes the greenhouse effect that causes global warming. But now, what are these gases? These gases, number one, carbon dioxide. Number two, methane. Number three, water vapor. Number four, nitrous oxides. Nitrous oxides. Again, carbon dioxide, methane, water vapor, and nitrous oxides. These gases, if they are exist in air, if they exist in air, in the troposphere, they cause increasing temperature. They are called greenhouse gases that cause what? That cause greenhouse effect, that cause the global warming and increasing the temperature of Earth. And this cause very dangerous effects on the Earth, as extinctions, sometimes burning of forests, changing the climate, not weather, just climate, maybe disappearing of some coastal areas. From time to time we hear that Alexandria will be exist no more. There will not Alexandria in the future. Some scientists warn from this point. Why? Due to global warming. Global warming comes from or is produced from increasing the greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, nitrous oxides, hydrogen, or some other gases as methane, as water vapor. So we have to reduce using this. So let me ask you, my dear student, what's meant by ozone hole? Again, ozone hole, it's losing or thinning, decreasing some parts of ozone in September above the South Pole from each year. Give reason why in September? Because the air or the wind pushes away the pollutants of ozone towards the South Pole. What are the types of ultraviolet rays? We have three types. We have far, we have near, we have medium. Only near that can penetrate the atmospheric air, the ozone layer, 100% penetrate the ozone layer, 0% is absorbed, and this type of ultraviolet rays is very useful for us. It's not harmful. Number two, medium. The medium, as I told you, my dear student, is just 5% penetrate the ozone layer, and 95% is absorbed, and the far 100% is absorbed. Nothing can penetrate theirs. But we have to keep our Earth surface by what? Number one, by reducing usage of some gases that cause, number one, ozone hole, number two, global warming. So we have to find out some sources of what? Some sources of energy instead of burning of fuel. But let me give you an example for some problems about the last or the previous lesson. How can we get the temperature and the height of the mountain? This is the revision on this the previous lesson about the atmospheric layer. We know that each 1 kilometer temperature decreases to 6.5 degree. Okay, but if I have a problem in the exam, what can I do? First, I have to search for the height. I have to search for the height. If I found the height, I must multiply height times 6.5. I must multiply height times 6.5. Then, if I have the temperature at the bottom or at the foot of the mountain, I must bring this result and say temperature at the bottom minus this result. And if I have temperature at the top and the need temperature at the bottom, I must put plus. Temperature at the bottom, I need up minus. Example, if height of a mountain is 3 kilometers and temperature at the bottom of it is 39 degree. Okay, find out temperature at its top. What can we do? Now the givens are: number one, the height. First thing, I must search for the height. If I found the height, I say now the value of decreasing or increasing in temperature is the height times what? 6.5. So it will be height is 3 times 6.5, it will be 19.5 degree. This is the value of decreasing or increasing. But now what are the other givens? Is the temperature at the bottom. Temperature at the bottom, he gave me now the temperature at the bottom, so I must make minus. So temperature at the top equal temperature at the bottom minus the value of decreasing. So it will be what? It will be 10.5 degree. Okay, 5, no, it's not 10, it's 9, 9.5 degree. So if I have the temperature down, the temperature at the bottom, and he needs to get temperature at the top, and I have height, I must do these steps. Okay, but now another one. If there is no height and he needs height, what can I do? If he gave me temperature at the bottom, okay, excuse me, first one is 19.5, I'm so sorry, 19 not 9. Bottom, and this is the top, at the top, and here it is 26. and there it is 0. And he needs me to get height. How can I get height? No height here. He said that if temperature at the bottom is 26 degrees and at the top is 0, find out what's the height of this mountain. So first I have to say temperature at the bottom minus temperature at the top, it will be 26. This is the value of decreasing. And I have to say value of decreasing divided what? Divided 6.5. Divided 6.5, so it will be 4 kilometers. 4 kilometers, not meter. Now I have to say thank you, my dear student, for good watching, and wait for us next week. And now, goodbye.